Well, good morning. Actually, it's afternoon now. Just after lunch, I'm home alone. Scary, isn't it? Um, Too many people where Leslie was headed, so the conventional wisdom was you better stay home. Um, that's getting a little bit old, but I'd rather do that than wind up with some kind of an infection, so it's understandable. Today is Saturday. It's a good day to be able to get out, and I did earlier, and we'll talk about that in a minute. It is Journal 121, and that means that it's T plus 116. I've become a fan of meditation. I became a fan of meditation a long time ago, and my preferred type of meditation is moving meditation, preferably Tai Chi. Uh, when and if it's available, I'm still not secure enough in my own practice to do it by myself, which is terrible, and is just, in all honesty, a BS excuse. But it's my BS excuse, and I'm going to embrace it for now. But there are other kinds of moving meditation that you can do, and I'll tell you about that as we go on. This thing over here, that's a microphone. It's a Yeti microphone. Um, I've had it for a very long time, but I wanted to try it and see if the sound quality was going to be any better. Just like the fact that I'm using my own Logitech camera to record this. See how that goes and whether or not I'll get a better camera sooner. But this morning, the mantra has always been eat, um, drink, walk. And this morning, I just decided that I was going to go out and get the walking part of that in after I had breakfast. Now it's supposed to be 103 degrees around here today, and I thought I was getting out early enough. The rules of engagement for me are that I can't be out, shouldn't be out between 10 and 4, which is when the sun is a lot more dangerous because of the chemo and because of a number of the medications that I'm on, and the likelihood that it'll cause um, problems with skin cancer. And since I already have had skirmishes with squamous and basal cell, I have no real interest in taking a chance on that. Um, had too many things carped off my body at this point anyway, so I'm not really interested in giving my dermatologist, who I love dearly, any more work than I have to. Uh, so this morning at 9 o'clock, about 5 or 10 minutes after 9, I decided to take a walk through the neighborhood, and it's a route as close as I can remember to the route I was taking with my friend Steve every day. Um, and that's another story. Steve's got a cough that he can't seem to get rid of, and until he gets rid of it, I'm not sure that either one of us really wants to take a chance on whatever it is that's causing the cough to come home and bite me. But he had this great route from our house, from my house, um, out and about the neighborhood that has about 4, 5, 600 feet of climbing um, involved in it over the route, on and off, and it's kind of cool because I can watch my heart rate go up when we're climbing, and I can watch it go down when we're starting to work on the decline, and it's looping in and out of the neighborhood, and it's really it's a pleasant walk when it isn't muggy and 85 degrees outside, and you're not covered, you're not wearing surgical gloves, and you're not wearing a long sleeve shirt and a hat. And My wife never perspires; she glows, and she barely does that. I mean, it's probably dangerous, the fact that she doesn't shed any water when she exercises, but um, I pour water off me like a garden hose. So I sweat. I don't glow. I don't I don't perspire. I just sweat. And I was walking through the neighborhood, and there's an awful lot to be said for seeing everything with new eyes. To see the plants that are planted on neighbors' yards, to see the care and attention that a lot of people give their homes, to see who's doing a garage sale, to really look at trees in the neighborhood and the shade they provide, and recognize what an absolute wonder that really is. And also to see the genuine goodness of other people. I mean, I'm walking through the neighborhood between 9 and 10 o'clock. I got back at 10 o'clock. 3.5 mile walk. It was a 3.6 mile pace. We got done just before an hour getting home. And obviously perspiring, and it working its way through the shirt that I was wearing. Not this one, I changed. But it's fascinating to me, and I don't know whether it's because I'm wearing the surgical gloves and the mask, and it's obvious I'm recovering from something. A lot of people probably think I'm trying to prevent their being exposed, rather than the truth of the matter is, which is that I'm trying very hard to protect myself from getting exposed to whatever's out there. And it's interesting because I find myself crossing over if somebody's mowing their lawn, or if they're trimming their hedges, or if they're out in the garden with a rake or a hoe, doing whatever they're doing, because I can't take a chance on being exposed to spores that might come up from the ground. So it's fascinating to see how people react, because it seemed to me like there were a bunch of people that were out there today, and I even had someone ask how I was, how I was doing. They don't know who I am. We're not neighbors. I don't know who they are. But they were genuinely interested in finding out how I was. I think they were curious as to why I was wearing the mask and the gloves. And we had a short but nice conversation, mostly because it was obvious that they stopped to listen. They were interested. So I started out the conversation with a discussion of moving meditation. And usually I think of moving meditation in terms of any martial arts form. I love the forms in martial arts probably as much or more than anything else. Did like the contact. I did. I admit it. But I really enjoyed the forms. The forms gave me peace. And I wouldn't necessarily have thought of just taking a walk as being meditative, but it has been. The number of times that I've gone out walking, which is often now, I come back tired because my hemoglobin's still low. This Thursday, I think it was at 8.7. And we don't know how much of that to attribute to the transfusion, but 8.7 was a good number compared to anywhere in the sevens, the mid high sevens or the low eights. And I come back tired from a walk like that, but I come back restored. I come back rejuvenated in many ways because of just the beauty of the neighborhood and the people that are here, and just the wonder of it all, and the fact that it's so easy to take for granted. And I think that taking stuff like that for granted, especially now after and during my recovery, is dangerous. I think that the more you're willing to stop and consider how fortunate you are, how lucky you are to have your health, to being treated if you don't have your health. Those are all wonderful, incredible, joyous things to contemplate while you're walking. And when you do that, I think despite what anybody else is willing to tell you, I think it is moving meditation, and it's very effective. So you don't have to sit with your legs crossed and your fingers joined on the front lawn of your house or in the backyard, or on a yoga mat. You can, take a walk. Just bring plenty of hydration with you. Okay, that's it for now. Stay well, take care. If it's not too hot outside, go take a walk. If it is too hot outside, take a walk tomorrow morning or tonight once the sun starts to go down. Cover up, use sunblock, take care of yourself. Talk to you tomorrow. Stay well and take care.